Yes, Troy, it is going to be a heck of a night. It is hot here in Abu Dhabi.
Yes,
As we know, sitting up here in the booth, these guys, these riders have been dealing with some jet lag. They've been dealing with the heat here and the forever hated foe of freestyle motocross, wind.
Wind, yeah. Well, we've got the national anthem of the United Arab Emirates now, so we'll have a moment of silence while we listen to that. The formalities taken care of here, Andy, and we are ready to go. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this first round pans out. Got a bit of an interesting surprise here. Yesterday's qualification round was not the best round we've ever seen Thomas Pages ride in. He went down not just once in the 2 qualification runs, but twice. So he will have to battle his way through round 1. And let's not forget, there's only one single spot available for this man and the other 2 guys that are going to be competing against him here in the quarterfinal.
Well, this is kind of a crazy setup here, Troy, because we have 3 guys, Luke Ackerman, Thomas Pages, and Javier Villegas in round number 1. Now, we know it is no inverted tricks except for the Joker trick.
One trick is allowed, inverted or rotational.
But the crazy thing is Thomas' whole run is inverted or rotational. So I'm very curious to see what he's going to throw out here in this round number 1. We know he's got, I mean, what is he going to choose? The special flip, the bike flip, the alley-oop flare, the tsunami flare. I mean, I don't even know what he's going to choose.
Well, there you see our start list. Luki Ackerman, Thomas Pages, Javier Villegas. I mean, it's a mixed bag out there. All of these guys are really good riders. The one thing I will say here is that Luke Ackerman had Thomas's number in Munich a couple of years ago and actually beat him in the quarterfinal to move on to the semis. So that's a big deal for the young German, and that gave him a lot of confidence. Will he have that same effect on Tom here tonight? It's hard to say. We've seen Luke develop quite a lot, but let's not give Javier Villegas the big shove out the door already either. He got 3rd place in Dubai a few years ago at his premiere, or his debut on the Red Bull X Fighters Tour, so he's been a mainstay and a really solid rider, save injury from the last couple of years. So he's one of those guys that can definitely do some damage out there. Luke Ackerman will, of course, ride first. Then we'll see Thomas Pages ride, and then Javier Villegas, and that's by virtue of the fact that Javier had the highest points of the 3 gentlemen.
Well, it's a little crazy that Luke didn't ride in qualifying last night, so this is actually our first time seeing him in competition.
Right.
On this course, so I know he's a little bit injured, I guess, and
well, he took the 120-foot dirt double and came up a little short. You know, I don't want to split hairs, but basically he landed
110.
He went 110 feet and didn't quite make the landing deck. So, you know, that's a big impact to take when you're traveling 80 kilometers per hour and flying through the air that far. It's a big deal. So I hope he's okay. I would like to see him do well here tonight. You know, Luke Ackerman is one of those kids that's going to be the future of freestyle motocross. The way he rides is so progressive and wild. He needs to solidify things a bit. We're seeing Javier Villegas do very well over the years as well, and now we're introducing the full field of riders. We just saw Taka Higashino come on out there, and we'll meet the rest of these guys as well. And there is one of the absolute best riders in the world rolling out on course right now, Danny Torres. He's got the most X-Fighter starts of any rider that is still competing in the X-Fighters, and he's been at it since nearly day one when we had our first event back in Valencia in 2001.
45 starts.
Amazing,
My
hey?
little book here just told me. 45 starts for Danny Torres. This guy has been around the world with this tour.
Yeah.
18 different countries. I think he's been to them all. He's competed almost at every one since this has been a tour, save for injury. So X-Fighter's nerves are something I don't think he really gets anymore.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, mostly he just thinks about, you know, his feet being injured again. That was the big drama for him a couple of years ago, as we see Remy Bezois from France rolling up onto the landing deck of the big dirt landing. He's another one of those guys that's really fun to watch out on course. A super flexible guy who can really extend those tricks beyond what you would think would normally be, you know, a proper extension. And then, of course, one of the smallest, the most diminutive rider out there, Michael Malero. But boy, can he ever throw down. And he has shown signs of taking the next step at this event here today. One of your favorites there, Robbie Adelberg.
Yeah, good to see Rob out on track. We keep talking about it, but he just keeps rolling forward. The confidence he gained a couple years ago with his win in Glen Helen really has just smoothed his riding out. He's never been scared to huck it. Now he backs that hucking up with the ability to link lines together and not be as frantic in his riding. And he's been a mainstay near the top for the last couple years here on the tour.
And he's going from strength to strength, so that's a really good thing. There's Sheeny, Josh Sheehan just rolling onto the course. Mr. Double Backflip. Had a bit of trouble. He's been struggling with his backflip since Madrid. He crashed it both times in Madrid, nearly crashed it in South Africa when we were there for a Pretoria event, and then in the qualification he landed it, but he really wrenched that left wrist of his, or the right wrist I think it was actually, and he was favoring it when he was taking his gloves off. So
if he didn't train so hard and wasn't so physically fit and strong, anybody else would have blown off the motorcycle last night when he did that. He over-rotated.
He over-rotated big time.
By a good chunk.
But he's so strong, you know. And, you know, there we see our lineup of riders. Clinton Moore and Thomas Pages are going to be, you know, two guys that are going to be really aiming for the big battle. But the big test for Thomas right now is to get through round one, and that's a lot of pressure on him. And speaking of pressure, all of these guys, they need this pressure. They deal with it in different ways. Let's talk to them directly about the pressure of the game.
Freestyle motocross on its top level is beautiful to watch. The riders take off and seem to defy the laws of gravity. They amaze the crowd with creative tricks. What drives these athletes? It's passion and pressure.
If you don't feel any pressure, you're not going to perform as good because you're going to be too relaxed and you're going to be sloppy. You need the certain amount of pressure that you can feel that rush, that thrill, that push you to the next level, but not that much that it's going to block you and you won't be able to do anything.
The pressure was, okay, do well, bring everything together and try not to crash. The pressure I have now, it's people expect me to win now.
Yeah, it's been quite the turnaround year, really. Last year is just sort of doing a few stops here and there, being the nobody, really. I feel the pressure's coming in a little bit on me as far as like people wanting me to be like getting first and whatnot.
There's that point where you start like freezing, like you start getting scared of yourself because you start overthinking about it. And that's when you create that unnecessary pressure. Like you gotta have that certain level that fits your energy to go through the next one, but you gotta be able to control it so you don't lose control of what's going on around you. You either learn to use that pressure or that pressure will use you back.
Josh Sheehan under pressure. After all, he is Mr. Double Backflip. He's been pulling this scary trick for years. In Madrid, he crashed for the first time ever in competition. If he wants to win, he has to land this trick again.
I try and think of what I know and what I've done. So just think about the foam pit at home. I know that I've done a bunch and they've all come round, and if I do it the same, if everything works the way I plan, the way I do it, then it'll come round.
Tom Pages constantly delivers new tricks like this alley-oop flare in his freestyle run that is packed with hard tricks.
If I add one new tricks, makes everything easier because I'm thinking of these hard tricks, so all the pressure is there, and all the other hard tricks I have to do goes easy. So I'm go through special flip, vault, all those tricks that's really dangerous, get me under pressure so much, but they go easy if I have something big to do. So that's why I need something big to do.
You know, Tom's the guy to obviously beat. He's the innovation guy, and you know, with time I'll catch him. But for now, I'm just going to be sitting right behind him, and if he makes that mistake, I'm going to take it away from him. I'd rather leave that pressure into his hand rather than having it into mine. I'm going into this run knowing that I can do all my tricks. It's just making sure that they're all on point.
I don't know, man. If I were in their positions, I would probably be sweating bullets knowing what's on the line here at this event in Abu Dhabi, the final event of 2015. And really, for two guys out there in particular, one guy, Thomas Pages, the pressure is really mounting because he knows he needs to get through this round one. It has been a great tour with 5 events. Let's take a look at where we've been this year so far. The 2015 Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour features 5 stops around the world, beginning in Mexico City. From there, we moved on to Athens, Greece, at the Dionysus Marble Quarry. Stop number 3, a classic at the Plaza de Toros de las Ventas in Madrid. After that, we visited the Union Buildings in Pretoria, South Africa for the 2nd time. And today, we close out the 2015 Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, and we will crown a World Tour champion. All right, Andy, take us through these round 1 rules.
All right, you have 60 seconds, and you are only allowed to do right side up, non-rotational tricks, but you do get 1 joker. That is going to be a very difficult thing for Tom Pages to narrow down what he's going to do. We only have 3 riders in this round, highest score advances. And they won't be able to celebrate long because that's going to put him up against the number 1 qualifier from last night, Clinton Moore.
That's right. Whoever gets through this round 1 is going up against Clinton Moore. And getting through this round 1 is going to be about impressing our judging panel. Judging is going to be the most important subject we talk about here tonight, especially being this close to the final decision, yeah? We have the most qualified judges around, and our system is as fair as it gets. Let's meet these guys.
All right, you're correct. We have 5 judges in 5 different categories up there. And then they are overseen by Brody Hendrickson, the head judge. We have variety. We have, can't quite see who's up there. It looks like Toby Imler. I thought we were gonna get a bit of a close up there. Toby's gonna be judging variety. Variety is, are you gonna do front of the bike tricks? Are you doing back of the bike tricks? Are you doing right side up? You don't wanna see 9 backflips out there. You wanna show the whole scope of variety of the types of tricks you know.
Especially in this round 1.
We got, yeah, especially, we have execution. That means how perfectly are you executing each, not only trick, but also your takeoffs and landings. Are you landing both tires down at the same time? Or are you doing an air wheelie and landing front end high like I used to like to do?
Yeah, and folks, if you're out there watching this, keep an eye on how these guys land on the ramps. The judges are tagging them hard on this. Too high in the back wheel, they're going to get tagged. Yeah. Too far in the front wheel, they're going to get tagged.
Going to get knocked down. We have form and flow. That is how smooth you link your lines out there and how do you flow around the course. We have energy. Energy, excitement, and entertainment. How do you entertain the crowd? How hard do you ride? How stoked is everybody? That's a big part of your score, 20%.
And overseeing the whole thing, we got Brody Hendrickson, our head judge from New Zealand. And there we see the start list. Luki Ackerman will ride first, then Thomas Pages. And bringing up the rear of this group will be Javier Villegas, who has the advantage of watching the other two guys ride and having the other two guys sort of, we'll say, warm up those judges that we just talked about and introduced.
This is just a crazy situation we're in after last night with Tom crashing in his run. It is, Tom and Clinton are tied, 280 points.
Yep.
It can all come down to this right now.
They each have 2 wins. They each have the same score, basically, because of the virtue of where they placed throughout the tour, throughout the podium.
This is it's an incredible. I don't know what's going to happen actually. So, but
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Lucas Ackerman.
Young German. Yeah, this guy, he is, like I was always saying in the last couple of years, a real rising star in the world of freestyle motocross. He took out Thomas Pages in Munich at the Red Bull X Fighters on the very first floating track in Munich. And I'll tell you what, this might be another night for him if he can ride well and doesn't make any mistakes. And Lucas Ackerman will get going here for his round 1 heat. Here we go.
All right, so he's starting off with the quarter pipe, which is his one rotational or inverted trick right now. So he has to remember, this is round 1. You can't fall back into that normal contest mindset and want to do your normal trick. And then, the surfer Lambert.
And look at the look on Thomas's face.
Wow, he just looked at his mechanic like, what the heck was that? All right, holy grab out of Ackerman. Floated it back nicely, all the way back to the handholds, and then pulled himself back onto the seat. That is a holy grab. Now use, of course, that is 20% of your mark out here. So you saw he just hit the super kicker, gets up a really nice inverted super can there, or super knack, I'm sorry. And 10 seconds left on the clock. Really nice cliffhanger for Ackerman, and is he going to get under power here?
This one will count.
Yes, this should count right here and finish it off with a big kiss of death.
Yeah, very nice.
It does count, and solid run out of Ackerman. I think this one's just going to be for the crowd here.
Yep, for sure. He's pumping the fist of the crowd. Hey, he's got to be really pleased with that run, Andy. I mean, you know, it's a tough position to be in when you're the first guy out. You're warming up the crowd. You're warming up the judges. You know, it's a really hard spot. So that young man performed admirably, considering where he's starting. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the slow-mos here just to talk about it. So, nice flare. He under-rotates it a little bit and stabs that left foot down.
That's what we were talking about. The judges want to see that landing clean.
The judge, okay, so look at this. Surfer takeoff into kiss of death. Well, kind of like a tsunami there into surfer landing. I have never seen that.
No, he's the only guy doing that.
Wow. There's that holy grab. That surfer to surfer.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Did you see the eyes on Thomas, though, when you watched him do that?
Executioner. Nice landing there as he goes into the double-double section. And then look at the inversion he gets up there. Really great. Heart attack style off the side of the bike.
Super clean landing for Lucas Ackerman.
He was born in 1998, Troy. Does that make you feel old?
That makes me feel really old.
That is incredible.
But it's fantastic that, you know, young guys like Lucas are out there doing just amazing things in the world of freestyle motocross, and that means there's a bright future for it. Okay. Speaking of bright future, yeah. Thomas Pages really has to perform here.
I'm nervous right now.
I'm nervous for him too.
This is his whole season depends on the next 60 seconds.
That's right.
The whole tour championship for him depends on this next 60 seconds. And here's his dilemma. Does he go out and do the hardest trick, which is his bike flip?
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Which could bite him in the...
It could be finished.
Because this is what we saw during the qualification round. He did that first trick, and he crashed it the first time out. So
we're going to know in 15 seconds here.
Oh, well, let's see.
What he's going to do.
Yep, he's lining up for it.
Is it going to be a bike flip?
I don't know. I mean, he might do something else. He can do 3 different things here.
Alley-oop flare.
Oh, yes.
Stop.
It's solid.
Nice. Oh, Clinton.
Yeah, that's a thumbs up with a nervous tongue from Clinton right there.
And Tom is one of those guys you could tell how his run's gonna go from the second he does that first trick. Now all he has to do though, he has to remember, don't do another rotational or inverted trick, which is going to be so difficult for him because his whole run is full of all the crazy stuff that he does.
That was a beautiful cliffhanger to no-hander lander he just did there, and that one nice.
And speaking of execution and form and flow, that landing, absolutely spot on, perfect, right at the knuckle. Both tires touch down at the same time. Perfect kiss of death. This doesn't look good for Lucas Ackerman.
No, it doesn't look good for Lucas Ackerman.
But 10 seconds left. No-handed Superman, super technical trick there. And remember, we're going back to freestyle 2001 right here, basically. And then a massive whip out of Pages.
I just love that trick. I mean, it's still a crowd and rider favorite. It doesn't score super high, but man, I tell you, when a guy can do just a boned out whip like that, that is so cool.
Yeah, well, Ackerman, he came out and he gave it everything he got, especially considering the case he took yesterday on the 120-footer. I'm stoked to go back. Okay, let's look at this. This is called the alley-oop flare. Look at that. He's moving to the right, yet rotating into the left as he comes around over 540 degrees on that one. And then breaking down the base jump, which is the cliffhanger to no-handed landing without a bar check. And then displays out Catnack, Indian Air, total flatliner style, gets the bike so far away from his body.
Yeah, this was the run that Thomas needed to get that confidence back a little bit. I mean, Javier watched the whole thing. He's no slouch. So, and Javier does have some tricks off of the quarter pipe. It's now a question of whether or not Javier can bring it all to bear in his run. Thomas Pages, though, I think he just killed it.
Wow. Yes, look at that face. That's actually the first time I've seen him smile all weekend.
All weekend long. He's been crumping the whole time back there in the paddocks.
Well, and that just...
We talked body language with our producer earlier on before we started the show, and he's like, boy, you can really tell from the body language of these guys how they're feeling on any given day.
All right, look at that. And he just throws. Look at that amplitude, spotting the landing with his head. That's actually the best one I think I've ever seen him do. He had that amplitude. He had everything that he needed.
I'll give him an 8.5 out of 9, 8.5 out of 10 on that one, but I think Pretoria was a little bit nicer.
Okay, well,
yeah,
it might have been. I mean, I think I saw you do a better one on your rollerblades back in the day too. So
that was the alley-oop master, I tell you. All right,
Javier
Villegas.
He's always looking stylish, don't you think?
Yeah, Javier's always dressed up.
Yeah, he's looking good. Got the new TLD Zebra stuff going on, and
the electric Zebra.
C-grab, Indian Air.
Whoa, that was close.
And he grabs a handful on that 450 and goes about 3/4 of the way down the landing ramp. Okay, well, if we're going to compare trick to trick, which is basically what the judges are going to have to do, he does a cliffhanger, Tom did a base jumper.
Tom did a deeper whip.
Yeah, Tom was a little bit deeper there, but still a great whip by Javier. Comes back around, and this is so crazy to come over the top of that landing, not be able to spot where the ramp is, and then have to get on it right away. So nice one-hand C-grab Indian Air out of Javier, and then he comes around to the big 120-footer.
Wow, that was massive.
And he gets a nice long hold on that kiss of death off the dirt jump. Pretty much everybody hitting that is getting a little front end high, just not used to the less pop you get off a dirt jump.
You know what I'm noticing though? I think he got more into the flow at about the quarter of the way mark through this run. I'm not sure that last jump is going to count.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that this is going to count. We'll check in.
If they do count it though, he'll get 2 jumps back to back, but I don't think it's going to be there.
I think it was just a hair slow on that, but still very solid run out of Javier.
Yeah, the only thing was that start was a little bit shaky for him, but afterwards he got it in control, and then he started looking Javier smooth.
Well, it's crazy to think, and let's watch. This is where he started. C-grab, Indian Air, and just halfway down the landing, he goes a little deep, and then gets a little offline for the next landing to get up and over. But really smooth turn down there.
From that angle, it's super
that was
nice.
really solid. Really nice flip. I mean, really nice whip. And then the one-hand seat grab into rock solid. Great combo, and then here we go, 120 foot. Look how long he holds that
and
thing.
Fantastic extension as well.
Lands right up at the top of the knuckle. Well, cat-knack Indy, nice look over at us and the judges. Check my style. And this is a tough one for Javier because he rode great, but that Tom and that alley-oop is just such a strong, he's the only guy doing that trick, which just puts it head and shoulders above pretty much any of the other. He's got two tricks that nobody else is doing. But also he's not backflipping, so it's really up to the judges. What are they putting their importance on tonight?
Yeah, but he's bringing that back. We've heard a lot of speculation about the backflips from Thomas.
Well,
but
and we've seen a few this year.
We have
like
seen
just
a few.
Stock straight backflips, which is crazy to call backflipping a motorcycle just normal or dead sailor.
Yeah, if you don't do any tricks on the backflip anymore, boy, I tell you, you're in a bit of trouble. All right, well, Luki Ackerman, third place in this round one here, so we won't see him moving on. The question is, who's it going to be between Thomas and Javier? Judge's decision
spoiler,
here.
But I'm not thinking that this is going to be crazy tight. Only based on the alley-oop flare.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I mean,
nevertheless, I mean, there's this points difference right there. I mean,
well, and we're not, and we're also not judging. We're not judging. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, okay. So Thomas Pages goes on through. Good for him. He's made it into the quarterfinal. But Andy, in the quarterfinal, having come through round one, who does he have to go up against? The guy he's tied with in points, in wins, in podium spots for this season, Clinton Moore.
Well, that sets up our battle for the championship in the quarterfinals.
Yep.
We all wish it would have saved it for the main event, but it's still head-to-head, mano-a-mano. Winner takes all. Winner becomes a three-time winner of the season. Winner becomes either repeat champion or first-time champion.
Yeah, it'll be a hat trick of wins, whoever takes this one away, and no, excuse me. It'll be if whoever gets between those two guys wins the event here, it'll be a hat trick of wins. But if Thomas can win against Clinton Moore and move on, then he has the potential, if he wins this event, to be the only other rider in history besides Nate Adams to win 2 Red Bull X Fighters World Tour Championships. And if he wins the event here,
and
he'll be
back-to-back.
3 back-to-back events, and the only other guy to do that is Matt Ribot in 2009.
So there is a lot at stake for Mr. Pages, and there's a lot at stake for Clinton Moore. I mean,
very much so now.
This is such a battle, I wouldn't say of styles, because Clinton has just really come into his own with the new school tricks and has just picked them off one by one by one. Well, but also he's got all the hardest backflip tricks, which is something that Tom doesn't bring to the table.
Clinton's always been a good, solid rider. He's always been there among the top riders in the world, but he was just missing that little extra element to make him an elite rider. And this year, I think you could safely say that this was his breakout year to become an elite freestyle motocross rider. You know, he's got that fantastic Bundy trick of his. He's got the Volt. He's got quarter pipe tricks. He's got all the upright tricks, plus the backflips are there. So this is going to be one megadonna of a quarterfinal heat between these two guys. And Clinton Moore's like, yeah, that's me, buddy. I want to move on.
And the interesting thing is he's beat in head-to-heads this year. He's 2-1 against Tom.
Yeah.
And Clinton is not a mistake maker like Tom, I mean, that sounds weird, but Tom is either on
all or nothing.
He's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Clinton just grinds and grinds and doesn't make very many mistakes. Hardly ever do you see Clinton make a mistake.
I think we could call Clinton the mathematician in this case, and Thomas the rebel, you know? Let's put it that way.
We'll have to look at that face. This is going to be insane. It's the whole tour. 5 tour stops all come down to the next 75 seconds.
Yeah, that's coming up. Welcome to the final showdown. It's the last stop of the Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour 2015. It's Tom Pages versus Clinton Moore. This is the closest World Tour final in history. Who will be the 2015 Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour champion? Hello everyone, welcome to Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. I'm Troy Mannering, joined by Andy Bell.
Thanks, Troy. Great to be here tonight. The atmosphere is so intense here with that man, Tom Pages, and Clinton Moore, and the World Tour on the line. Man, all these guys and myself, we're looking forward to this tonight.
Well, it is truly a World Tour. We've had a lot of great locations. Let's take a look at that this year. The 2015 Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour features 5 stops around the world, beginning in Mexico City. From there, we moved on to Athens, Greece at the Dionysus Marble Quarry. Stop number 3 in Madrid, a classic at the Plaza de Toros de las Ventas. After that, we visited the Union Buildings in Pretoria, South Africa for the 2nd time. And today, we close out the 2015 Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, and will crown a World Tour champion. Look at the background here, fantastic, and here is our current world standings.
280 points for Thomas Pages, 280 points for Clinton Moore, 2 wins each. Podiums on the other ones that they didn't win, they are exactly tied tonight going in right now. And we're going to see them go head-to-head in the quarterfinals.
Well, it's crazy to think that Clinton Moore, who you're looking at right there on your screen, is going to be going up against one of the best riders in the world, a former World Tour champion. He's got the experience. Clinton Moore wants to have the experience. There's Thomas Pages. This is going to be the duel of the season.
This is the closest finale we've ever had in points. I mean, dead even. Tom, Clinton, both had the exact same results at every event. 2 wins, 2nd, 3rd. Clinton Moore came into this season with a vengeance. I mean, he took the win in Mexico City. He took the win in Greece. And at the halfway point, it was his to lose. Tom Pages struck back. I mean, he came back hard, winning in Madrid, and dominating Pretoria. It all comes down to this event right here, the final showdown. Coming into this final stop, I mean, Clinton Moore has yet to make a mistake all season. I don't see why he would do it here. The pressure really is on Tom because this guy brings a higher level of riding to freestyle motocross, and it's an all or nothing style that either is rewarded high or he can go down. It is going to be an epic showdown, and I personally cannot wait to watch it.
Well, I'm absolutely with Ronnie Renner on this one, and he talked about it, you talked about it, I talked about it, but between these two guys, it is, seriously, it is dead even. There has never been a closer matchup between 2 riders aiming for a Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour title. Let's take a look at these stats a little bit. I mean, both of these guys are sharing everything, podium-wise, win-wise. The only advantage here goes to Clinton Moore, who's got 1 win over Thomas in head-to-heads.
Yeah, these guys, it's just so crazy that they've had 2 wins, a 2nd and a 3rd each in 5 tours. I mean, that's 5 stops. It's never happened before. You see Tom writing down his run. If you're wondering what he's doing, he's writing down his run on his bar pad there. That's how these guys remember where they're going, what trick they're going to do. We're moving into the quarterfinals, which means all stops are pulled out.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a battle of what do the judges want to see. Do they want to see all these new school tricks? I'm not sure what's going on here.
Halloween is going on here. That's what's up.
Yeah, I guess so. As we get that's my hotel in the background there. All right, head-to-head. We have a timed run of 75 seconds. You have to win 3 of the 5 different categories in order to take home the win. And this is it's just such an epic showdown that's coming right now, and this is it. This is it for the year. it. You have to go spend the rest of the year at home either celebrating
or thinking about what you have to do to get back. Yeah,
what you could have done
exactly. Well, I mean, like you said, head to head, that's where these guys get out on course together. Clinton Moore focused on tweeting what's going on in his mind right now. If you're interested to, you know, follow Clinton Moore on Twitter, and you might find out where his headspace is before he steps out there. He is going to ride up against Thomas Pages last, so it'll be 3 heats before this last quarterfinal heat between them. And like we were talking about, they have to be on point to impress the men in that box right there, our judges.
All right, so Red Bull X Fighters, we have a very unique judging system here. We have 5 judges, and each one of them with a category. We have variety, meaning you need to do tricks that are upside down, right side up, rotational. We have execution. That means straighten all your tricks out, land perfectly. Style, how good do you look while you're doing it? Form and flow, flowing through the track and having the right line choice, and energy. Energy is very important for you. And use, of course, 20% each, 1 helmet each, so you can rule at one thing and totally forget about something else. So get in there and lay down your run.
And the keys to the win here are super important as well, Andy.
Yeah, don't hold back. This is it, the Tour Stop Final. This is all the chips are down here. Can you handle the pressure? That is going to be the biggest thing. Tom was cracking a bit last night. Clinton's looked great, but now that they're head-to-head, Clinton looks a little stressed there. And number 1, this is the biggest one for Tom and for everyone. No
Can't make any mistakes.
You can't make a mistake. We saw in the judging last night, you make a mistake, you're done.
All right, there's our lineup. Remy Bissoir going up against Michael Molero. That'll be our first heat. Danny Torres and Rob Adelberg head-to-head. Then we've got Taka Higashino and Josh Sheehan. That should be an interesting one. And then the one everybody's going to be keeping a real close eye on, Clinton Moore against Thomas Pages. First heat up, though, and we got Remy Bissoir riding first.
Hey, I'm Remy Bissoir from France. Here we are in Abu Dhabi. First time for me here. I can't wait to ride on.
So first time for Remy Bissoir in Abu Dhabi, but not the first time for Remy in the United Arab Emirates. He was here a few years ago when we had our event back in Dubai, and he starts things off right away with a vault. Oh my goodness, that was a fantastic effort by him to get that over and landed.
Not only is he looking good with his new kit and his bike looking all tight like that, he started off with a vault. That's super solid, and then just throws the kiss of death flip, goes so deep. It's so weird, these guys are riding at sea level, which doesn't happen a lot for them. And the bikes are just so much more powerful and generate
extra
so
punch.
much more horsepower at sea level than they do, say, a place like Mexico City. And here we go, going towards a quarter, and a big transfer backflip, a little bit of a horseshoe going over there. But hey, you know what?
Yeah, that's a big move.
It's a big move. He actually covered a long distance. Going back to your old rollerblade terms, he probably went like 3 or 4 panels there, Troy.
Watch out, watch out.
And then this is a 120-foot dirt gap, and he just laid.
Oh! He clipped the knuckle of the landing and almost did a header. Wow.
Lucky it looks like his suspension is full of cement, as that barely even bucked him. Back in the day, that would have thrown you over the bars. Remy, seat grab flip, Indian air, comes back around. I don't think anything else is going to count. Well, he knows that. He goes up to the top. He's got to feel pretty solid about that.
Yeah, that was a great start for him in particular, that vault right out of the gate. I mean, that says a lot about the way these guys are training and getting themselves ready for these events. Look at this. Right away.
Oh, I didn't even see that from our angle. That was hairy.
It was super hairy.
Wow, he was like in kickboxing class. He like kicked the seat like 4 times there.
Yeah, he really had to struggle to get his body back on top of the bike.
God.
And he was traveling as well.
And then he just throws the KOD backflip with authority, 3/4 the way down the landing ramp there. Then comes through with the Shaolin flip. Liking how his bike looks, though. I think he looks super good. That should get him extra form and flow points right there, or style points.
If anything, yeah.
And there's that transfer flip, which is the Levi Sherwood original that at least 4 or 5 guys have picked up on so quickly since we saw him
Super
debut
fast,
that
actually.
a couple, 3 events ago. Now we miss you out here, Levi. Hurry up and get all healed up so we can see that trick from the master. Now
Michael Malero will be going up against Remy, thank you. I had a little bit of a moment there where my head fell off. I had to pick it up and put it back on. Michael Malero, this is going to be an interesting one to watch because Michael Malero, I think in the last 2 events has taken some major strides towards really stepping it up a notch. We've seen him pull out some really great new tricks, and in fact, he has surpassed Danny Torres, who is his mentor. There we go, Michael Malero.
Hola, I am Michael Malero from Spain. This is the big final I got all in.
All right, Michael Malero, I think if you stand them up in a row, he'd be a head shorter than everybody else out there. He needs a telephone book to be able to get himself over onto the bike, but once he's on board, man, he can really rock and roll. Let's keep an eye on what he's got lined up for us in this one.
He's definitely got the Dustin Miller stance going on, but that is perfect for tricks like that. Double grab backflip out of the gate. The judges really like to see the toughest tricks in your bag first. That's a big thing. And speaking of that,
oh wow, knack flare.
Knack flare, and you know, Malero only really started landing those things this year.
Yeah, 2 events ago. Sorry, 2 events ago.
Oh, Madrid, right. And they're, California roll, and comes out of it nice. So,
super solid. That's the best one I've seen him do all year.
We'll have to point out the differences of that one when we get down to the slow-mo, but Malero, so quick and small. He's able to do combos so quickly as he does the Cordova flip. He's just looking solid.
Yeah.
The only knock I could give him right now is he's just kind of cruising, it looks like. He doesn't have a lot of fire in the speed he's going in between the jumps, so
that's going to be an energy entertainment flow judge criteria to keep an eye on.
And he may lack 1 or 2, maybe even 2 jumps overall on what a couple of the faster guys get.
I'll have to start counting them here. A little bit late for Michael Malero's run. I don't think it's going to cost him too much, though. I mean, he's had some really good, solid tricks in this as he goes for the 120-foot. Wow.
Yeah,
nice.
Executioner to rock solid over the 120. And Malero, great run. Really, really looks solid. Like I said, I wasn't counting, and we'll have to kind of pay attention. But the only thing from a judging perspective, if you had to start picking things apart, which at this level you have to pick something out, is he was a little cruisy.
A little cruisy, a little lazy. Let's say it's a lazy.
And look at that, double grab backflip starting off. I mean, that is a best trick gold medal winner just a couple years ago. And then he rotates the knack flare around pretty far, and then here's the California roll. You notice he takes off.
Side saddle take off.
Holding on to the seat, and then he does the little roll off the side. I mean, these guys are getting he's able to do that so fast. Like a little gymnast doing a pommel horse or something. And great landing there. Execution judge really going to like seeing that.
Well, I saw him walking back to the hotel earlier, and I stopped him really quick, and I asked him how he's feeling. He says, hey, how did he put it? I am feeling very good. I do good tonight. He's such a nice kid, you know, and he's really come out of his shell in the last couple of years, so I'm happy to see that he's had a good run here. Now we'll get him and Remy Bissoir up on the landing ramp, and what you'll see here, folks, is the judging criteria displayed underneath the rider, and what is determining who moves on is who has the most bits of the criteria. So basically you've got to have 3 out of the 5 criteria to move on, and here we go. Variety, that one belongs to Michael Malero. So the first helmet goes to Michael Malero. Execution, also Michael Malero. Advantage Malero.
Malero is such a little robot.
There we go.
Variety too.
Michael Malero moves through to the semi-final, eliminating Remy Bissoir from the competition, and that's what you said right off the top of this quarterfinal. It's head-to-head, win or go home, and this time Remy Bissoir goes home. Michael Malero stays alive in competition and actually walks away with a clean sweep with all 5 helmets. Good job by Michael Malero, and look at that right there in the replay.
Look at that.
Fantastic.
I mean, that's pushing his boundaries in his own limits. And yeah, there may be other guys doing maybe a little bit bigger on that, but every time he comes out and is pushing, and he knows what he's got to do in order to stay relevant. And now he's moving on to the semifinals. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all. I mean, you know, in the semifinals, worst situation for him is he'll walk away with a 4th place.
Yeah, Remy's got a 2nd here before, so, you know, he's no slouch.
Yeah, Remy was 2nd place in Tokyo.
So out of 16 starts, Malero's only been to the semifinals 3 times, so.
Here we go with quarterfinal number 2, Danny Torres. Speaking of starts, 45, didn't you say? 45 starts for Danny Torres, going up against Rob Adelberg. 2 very experienced competition riders. Both of them cut their teeth in freestyle motocross in the smaller arenas. Now, I won't say that our course out here is particularly big in comparison to other courses we've had on the season, but it is bigger than your typical arena course, and you can see there. So Rob Adelberg and Danny are going to both have to work a bit here. Rob is up first.
Hi, I'm Danny Torres from Spain. Tonight is a big night. It's all or nothing.
Excuse me, Danny is up first.
and totally correct, it is all or nothing. And the funny thing about this is we just saw Michael Malero move on.
Yep.
We always talk about this. Danny Torres was his mentor. He brought him up as a young 16-year-old riding freestyle moto. And look at that. They even
Started
start out
exactly
with
the same.
And then into the backflip lazy boy.
But how buttery smooth was that landing, hey?
You know what? Really looking solid for Danny. Danny's had a tough couple years since he won the championship. The old Fred Flintstone. That Clifford out there, I think.
The bedrock run.
Look at that, getting through. All the way through with the starfish, planting his butt right on the front fender.
Was that really a starfish, or did he do the Paris Hilton? We're going to have a look at the replay on that one. Oh, and the cliffhanger to no-hander lander, base jumper.
And see, Danny is just a little quicker in between the landing and then taking off again than when we saw Malero. You get the executioner flip. And
here we go.
And what's he got here? Never see Danny on the quarter. And there we go. Transfer backflip for Danny. And speaking of pushing your own boundaries, Danny has shied away from the quarter pipe for the last 3 years. So that's huge that he's hitting that and taking on that transfer flip.
That's exceptionally huge, and that gives him a new, we'll call it a bit of new life in the sport of freestyle motocross for one of the old dogs. Not sure if this is going to count. He was in the bank turn under power, so we'll see.
Yeah, we're going to have to check if that one counted or not. It would be great for Danny if that counted, but a really, really exceptional run for Danny.
I've just been informed that last one does count, Andy Bell, so
well,
that's going to be a good run.
Real solid run.
Danny, yeah. Rob is mentally going through his run, preparing to see if he can take out Danny Torres here.
It's so crazy to watch the similarities between Michael and Danny as they ride. And really nice backflip lazy boy. You don't see a lot of guys doing them right now because they're hugely difficult tricks.
Yeah, and not landing that smoothly either.
Not that I know because I can't do it, but from what I've been told, it's difficult. But he gets right back, gets his head on the rear fender, gets perfectly stretched out, and then you see that landing there. Those are the type of landings the judges are looking for.
That was like
Front
your
tire.
freestyle ski days back there doing the dappies.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hey, sometimes even double daffy. And Danny just looking so smooth and solid. And here's that transfer flip. You just see how he spots that with his head, lifts that chin up. And that's one of the best runs I've seen out of Danny Torres for a long time.
It's been a while, yeah. He's really needed the confidence of getting that quarter pipe trick into his quiver, and I think that's been an important step for him to know that, yeah, he can do it. Yes, he is capable, and that's a confidence boost. And exactly, he is grinning ear to ear after doing that run. He's knowing that he's had a good run, and now it's up to Rob Adelberg to bring it to the table. Can Robbie do it? He's definitely got the skills. He's just got to stay on point. And like we said earlier on, leave nothing back and don't make any mistakes.
Well, and Rob has really, we keep talking about it, but ever since that win in Glen Helen a couple years ago, he has just really gained maturity with his riding that I think came from confidence.
That's a good word for it. Maturity is
And
actually true.
Rob has always been able to huck it, and he always had the ability to go out there and do the hard tricks, but it was sometimes a little frantic in between because he just got too excited. And there's something about doing 16 or 18 of these shows that you calm down and you learn to do what you need to do.
Rob Adelberg up next.
I'm Rob Adelberg and I'm from Australia. It's been a long season. We're here in the final round and I can't wait to get out there and put on a show.
Well, it's going to be nice to give you some time off so your forehead heals, buddy.
Didn't he slammed his face into his bars in one trick a while back, didn't he? And that's why he's got that gash in his forehead.
Yeah, something like that.
These guys are practicing and training so hard, and even during the training sessions, it's dangerous for them. So coming out here and putting on competition runs, that's a big deal.
Whoa! Starts off huge with the transfer backflip
Cordova.
And that's the biggest trick that I've seen done on the transfer. On the transfer flip. I've never seen anyone do anything bigger, I don't think.
Levi does the transfer Superman, but the Cordova is just another level in there.
And then
There's the California roll.
See? Like
Super sketch on the landing, though, with that butt right on the back fender. And I said this many times in the past, boy, if that fender wasn't there, he'd have a lot of trouble.
He just pokes out that CO.
That was close.
Wait until we watch that slow-mo. He knows wheelie down that landing as he comes around on the 120-footer, and he just holds a one-hand seat grab.
Great extension. That's one thing that I love about Rob Adelberg's riding. The extensions are so committed.
Yeah, and he held that as long as humanly possible. And then sideshow straight into a side saddle lander that variety judge loves, just those little nuances. And we see the graphic, big cliffhanger flip. We see the live energy judging right now, and you can just feel it with Rob out there. Everybody's excited. We're excited up here in the booth. He gets up, straight up into heart attack position on that catnack.
So the energy judge is definitely going to, that helmet is definitely going to go to Robbie Adelberg. So we know right off the bat that Rob has got one helmet in the bag.
All right, there's a couple sketchy moments here to check out, but that is not sketchy at all. That was big.
That was very big.
Transfer flip.
And how many panels did he travel using a
he must have got
skateboard
at
term?
least 5 there.
Or my old rollerblading day term.
And then Indian Air.
And he really gets those heels together. Just fantastic.
Indian Air to heel clicker.
Watch his butt.
Yeah, that is the California roll. And he really, more than anyone else, he really uses that rear fender to get back on. And now watch the front tire right here. Watch it. Nose wheelie.
Oh.
He hits it first. That was 1 foot from disaster. And it doesn't even phase him.
Dude, that was 2 inches from disaster. But you know what? He made it look buttery smooth.
Stretches out, look at this, both feet on the left-hand side of the bike there for the side saddle lander. And then big stretched out cliffhanger flip. That one put the fork in Danny Torres's energy score right there. We know Adelberg has 1 out of the 3 helmets he needs right now. Danny rode great, so this is going to be actually a pretty tough decision. Once again, I'm glad I'm not up there in the judging tower.
Well, this is a pairing that we've seen go head-to-head before in the past as well, and it's been pretty back and forth, but I don't know. It's going to be a hard call. 2 very interesting riding styles, 2 pretty similar styles, too, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, this is gonna be real tough. If you're following along, watch on the web, check out RedBullXFighters.com or Red Bull X Fighters on Facebook, hashtag XFighters, Red Bull X Fighters on Twitter, Instagram. Post us some pictures. We'll go through. We'll check out what you guys are doing. We got all sorts of time up here in the booth.
Yeah, we got nothing better to do. Just waiting on our judging decision. That means there's some difficult processes going up on up there. It's taking a little bit longer. And
I understand why.
You more than anybody as a judge. How many years? 9 years on this tour as a judge?
Yeah, something like that. Way too long. When all my friends started getting mad at me, I wanted the heck out of there. So, you know, sorry to Drake and Alvaro and all the guys up there. All right, we know Adelberg got energy. Execution, this is a tight one for sure.
Wow, 1 point separating those two. Adelberg takes it. Adelberg's got it. He's moving on to the semifinals.
Very nice. And you know what? That's tough on Danny because Danny had the best run I've seen him maybe have in 2 years, I feel.
Yeah.
Like a very solid run. And is this a clean sweep? Give Torres something.
No, it's a clean sweep. That's 2 clean sweeps back to back. So Michael Malero gets a clean sweep and Rob Adelberg gets a clean sweep. They'll move on to the semifinals, and we move on to our next heat, and that's going to be Taka Higashino going up against Josh Sheehan as we get a little bit closer to the major heat in this quarterfinal round.
Showdown.
The showdown of showdowns.
I think Rob's going to need to reinforce that rear fender to give him a little bit more pop to get back on the bike. I mean, he's about twice the size of Malero.
Yeah.
Not that Rob's a big dude, but he uses that rear fender. And here's our next showdown. Josh Sheehan, Mr. Double Backflip, and Mr. I have a sexy mustache versus Taka
Higashino. Yeah, look at, there's a bit of worry on Tom's face now. I think it's kind of finally hit him that he's going up against an exceptionally strong competitor this year in Clinton Moore. So Taka Higashino will be the first to ride in this pairing. Here we go, Taka.
Hello, I'm Taka Higashino, Japan. This is a big night, all or nothing.
That seems to be a theme tonight, all or nothing, and I mean, it's true. Truer words were never said. You got to put it all out on course if you want it to work for you. Now you see that count up clock, or count down clock rather, for Taka, and he starts his run. Oh no!
Oh, he saved it!
He saved it. His left hand, or his right hand came
right
off the throttle, and he managed to get back on the bike and stay with it. Wow.
Wow, that's not the way you want to start off, but gets right back into it. The most difficult jump of a run is the one right after you have a near miss.
Yeah, mistake. Yeah.
And he pulled out the California roll perfectly. I mean, it is a signature trick, and just goes deep on that kiss of death flip right there. But if you're able to recover as a rider with that next trick after a mistake, it usually says that you're going to go back and
rock solid flip.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only a recovery.
Yeah, he's taking it
to vengeance.
He's taking it to this course. Taka Higashino. Bit of a sideshow right there.
And no hand flip, spots the landing, perfect landing, 10 seconds on. He better get in here.
I think that he wanted a cliffhanger flip on that. I seem to recall him doing cliffhanger flips.
I think that was a little bit of a mistake. But there's a Cordova flip to finish off. Strong run, great recovery by Taka.
Yeah, this one's just for the crowd here, yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, yeah. Bilko's not around anymore to be the class clown, so Taka takes one for the team.
Good audience here. They're really enjoying the action. The grandstands look pretty well packed for this Red Bull X Fighters World Tour Final here in Abu Dhabi.
And look at this. Flair comes around front end high, and he just blows his hand off. I do not know how that worked, but then comes back strong with such a styly. A lot of the guys I feel are kind of cheating the California roll.
I'm with you there.
That right there was the way it was supposed to be done. And just so stylish on it. Some of the guys are barely getting off the motorcycle, and I don't know, I think it's a little, I mean, not that I would be doing it, but that right there was the way it's supposed to be done, folks. I'm just not sure if that was right what he wanted to do there, but
nah, I'm pretty sure not.
And then finishes up strong with the Cordova flip, just locks it out, looks forward, chin up, just kind of staring off at the crowd, flips down the flip levers, and he is out. And now the pressure transfers to Mr. Sheehan.
Well, Josh is definitely a guy that works well under pressure. We've seen it in the past. Last year as our World World Tour champion, so he definitely can do it. And going back to the pressure, you can see now it's starting to mount a little bit for these two gentlemen. There is Tom Pages. We just saw Clinton Moore.
Those guys are 3 minutes for the battle of their lives.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is history in the making. It's the closest Red Bull X Fighters World Tour final battle ever. So here we go. Josh Sheehan gonna ride next.
Hey, I'm Josh Sheehan from Australia. It's a very important night ahead, so I'm excited to get it done.
What's interesting to note is in a sport like freestyle motocross, there are the hardcore fans, there are the Klingons, and then there are the fans that are sort of there at the sidelines who are familiar a bit with the sport, but more about the familiarity with the riders. And Josh is one of the most well-known riders in the world at the moment.
360, nice, starting it off. And well, I think he's probably one of the most well-known because the man did just land a triple backflip on a 450 and oh man. Oh, wow. It's still going. Okay, so it's head-to-head, Taka versus him. They both had issues on their flare.
Well, that was
even though Josh did a much bigger combination, big no-footed can, which was kind of cool, taking it old school, and big kiss of death for Josh, and then, is that the other way?
Yeah, that's the other way. He did the transfer flip on the first one with the big super can, and then the flare on that one just there. I mean, you know, one mistake so far that I can see in the run is that big seat bounce he got off the landing. But otherwise, it's been pretty stellar, and we still haven't seen him pull out anything really big. I'm nervous now.
I'm nervous right now because Josh has been kind of, for the double backflip master, I don't think he's going for it.
No, I don't think so either. And quite frankly, I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. The 120-footer, just big, long kiss of death. And wow, this is going to be an incredibly difficult decision for the judges because both guys had mistakes in the same area of the track.
Both guys had big tricks as well.
Josh had a 360, Taka didn't. Taka had the California.
Josh
didn't. Both had perfectly executed flip tricks.
Both had the flare.
Both had kind of not super strong right side up tricks. Both had good kiss of deaths.
The only difference here, I think, for these two guys is this trick right here.
Yeah, that was
big.
big.
Super can flip transfer
and
off that quarter pipe.
Even though.
And this is where it hit him, yeah?
Oh, if the bike didn't stall right there, I don't think it would have given him that big shot. Lucky he got it bump started because that could have been, man, this is tight.
Sitting there struggling to start your bike up in the middle of a competition.
Yeah, big holy grab, and then he comes over and does a nice flat flare.
Really nice, actually.
Yeah, you know what? Wow, this is tough. If I had to take a guess, I may have to give it to Sheehan. I don't know. It's real tight though.
Then again, we could have another clean sweep. Who knows, right? I mean, we've had two so far. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, well, he almost had, it looked like he almost had a dead sailor on that seat grab flip, and he kind of went, I don't know what he was going for, but it looked like the seat grab flip was his go-to, which is a crazy go-to because it's such a big trick. So it's all up to the judges now.
And also, Sheeny used the dirt kicker, hey? That's a really important one for the judges. I've just got a reminder here in my headset that we should mention that because that's scoring higher for the judges than, say, doing the same trick off of one of the ramps.
Absolutely. Well, it's 120-foot dirt to dirt. And, you know, Sheehan hasn't won one of these things this year because Clinton Moore, his fellow Aussie, and the Frenchmen have been stealing the first places. But Sheehan has the double backflip in.
Well, Josh Sheehan and Takahiko Shino have traded places there on the mound.
Oh, I was confused for a second. I was like, wow, really?
Sheeny's got two helmets so far. Let's see if it's going to go his way for tonight or if Taka's going to join the battle.
Style, that.
Oh, it's Sheeny moving to the semifinal. Wow. Does he get all five? Let's see.
Wow,
Oh, wow, with a
86.
bullet
that's
on use of course because of the dirt double.
The dirt double, like
Yeah.
you said. And
Yeah, it's
energy.
a full pull for Josh Sheehan.
A 92 without a double backflip. If he throws a double backflip
He's
in,
got 110 out of 100.
Tom and Clinton better look out if he throws
no
a double
kidding.
backflip in.
All right, so now this is the battle that we've been looking forward to watching. Quarterfinal number 4.
Give me your best announcer voice.
2 men tied for the top spot, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas Pages and Clinton Moore. Even Steven for podiums, for wins. The only advantage going to Clinton Moore with one more head-to-head win against Thomas. And look at this. That is our trophy. Probably one of the sickest trophies we've seen all year. Daniel and his guys doing a fantastic job producing that thing. Thomas Pages, first to ride here in this quarterfinal.
Hello, I'm Tom Pages from France. Tonight is the night, and I want the championship back.
You know, for Tom, we're going to know
right
within
away
10 seconds if he is going to lay this run down.
Yeah.
Now, in the past, I would have said if Tom does his run to the best of his ability, there's no touching him. I do not believe that is true tonight. I think if both guys do their runs perfectly, I have no idea who the judges will choose because both guys are at that level right now.
Well, here we go. This is what it all comes down to. It's for all the marbles. He's got the landing.
Perfect.
That's a good sign. And the worry starts to show on Clinton Moore.
All right. And then transfer flip. Perfect.
He's bringing it all out right now.
And the thing at this level is it all comes down to confidence, believing in yourself. Like we heard Sheeny say earlier about the double backflip, you have to just pretend you're at home doing it in the foam pit. You're not in Abu Dhabi. You're not in a different time zone. Oh, the special flip.
Oh my goodness, it was a little front end heavy.
And he
it's
was
scary.
high.
He was really high.
He was so far off the motorcycle for that one. And we haven't seen the special flip for quite a while.
Lining it up again. He's got so many quarter pipe tricks. I don't even know where he's going to go with this. It's the alley-oop flare.
Oh,
no! Oh, no!
Oh,
he
no.
goes down.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
I hope his legs are right.
He tweaked his hip the other day, crashing that very same trick in the same situation, but he's back on the bike, and that was a devastating mistake for Thomas.
I think he's done.
I think so, too. And that's timeout anyway for him. Oh, my goodness. What an unfortunate turn of events for Thomas. And now, I mean, this isn't finished yet.
I think that's the word. I honestly, I have to say, if I put myself in Clinton's shoes, I've rather had him stomp his run.
Yeah.
Because now he's like, okay, I can let off a little bit.
Yeah,
and
but
that's when bad stuff happens.
That's when bad stuff happens. I was just going to say, it's not over yet. I mean, Clinton can go out there and crash on his first jump, and it still belongs to Thomas. You could see the disappointment in the body language from Thomas Pages. But, you know, he's got to suck it up, stick together, you know. Look at this. Let's watch this again here.
All right.
This
so
was the bike flip.
Perfection.
Yeah, this was a good sign for both of us because he landed high up on the landing ramp. He was in perfect position. Then came the backflip transfer.
Perfect.
Yeah, again.
Just nice and smooth.
2 wheels down.
And you know he hates backflipping, so for him to be doing that is a big deal. You know, even Tom Pages has to progress.
Yeah, even.
And then here's a special flip, and he just...
So sick. Oh my goodness.
He gets his hand in that handhold and then says, I don't need it, and then...
And then
here he comes. He just did not...
He didn't have the height.
You know what? He didn't have the amplitude that he had earlier on in round number 1 that we saw. He hit that another 3 feet higher, and then that... Wow, Javier reacts. And just, you know, he's crushed under that helmet.
Yeah. Right now, all he's got to do is go and sit on the hot spot over there and watch the run from Clinton Moore. I tell you what, though, this is not over, folks. Clinton Moore can still make a mistake, so we have to watch this run from Clinton Moore. If Clinton Moore can stomp a clean run here, then we have a new World Tour champion. What a disappointment for Thomas.
Oh, that just not the way you want it to go down. I mean, Tom has just brought so much energy, so much progression to this sport in the last 3 years. He's really picked up where Travis Pastrana left off.
He's
years
essentially
ago.
the guy responsible for the way that freestyle motocross is ridden these days.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be able to win a contest years ago without doing a backflip was so insane. And now Clinton Moore, it all rests on his shoulders.
Hey, I'm Clinton Moore. I'm from Australia. I go for the crazy tricks to stand out and to become the best.
Well, tonight is the night. Can he stay on his bike? Can he do those crazy tricks and become the best rider on this 2015 Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour season? Let's watch this one and find out.
I think Clinton's got what it takes. He has spent so many hours and hours and hours riding the Nitro Circus shows that he's been on with Josh Sheehan and the whole crew. And the Bundy!
No! Oh my goodness!
That was incredible!
Oh my!
That right there was the biggest save all year.
Yeah.
And now he's just got to calm down. He's got to bring that heart rate down. He has to calm that adrenaline that is dumping in his body right now.
But it's exactly what you said earlier, Andy. You know, it was maybe the worst thing for, not for Thomas, but for Clinton that Thomas crashed.
It is. It's terrible. It gets in your head like, oh, okay, I just got to take it easy out there. And taking it easy is not how champions are made.
Wow.
And the vault, perfection, a little high getting away from the bike, but Clinton is not leaving anything up to chance.
No.
He's throwing out his big stuff, underside knack on the 360 there, and then nice on the flare. And
15 seconds left in the run.
Clinton, this is it. This is what he's been waiting for. And for him to say in the interview earlier, he was a nobody. He was an unknown. And
well, everybody knows him now.
He's 4 seconds away from becoming World Tour champion.
I'm not sure this last jump is going to count, but it doesn't matter at this point.
Cordova flip and does not count, but he does not need that. And I mean, barring something crazy right now, we're looking at the 2015 Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour champion in
Look
Clinton
at the
Moore.
relief.
Wow, I was just sitting up here in the booth, so I couldn't imagine riding under that pressure.
I got tears in my eyes after that Bundy. Look at this here. Cliffhanger. There it is, the Bundy. Watch what happens here, though.
He misses the with that
grip.
right hand.
And look at the body position as he comes down. He is so far out.
His foot! His foot, his right foot was hooked in the side panel. And then, but the way a true champion has to do, he overcomes adversity, calms his heart rate, gets it out of his head, and then comes back with a perfect run after that.
Yeah, I mean, wow, is all you could say about the reaction that Thomas Pages had when he saw Clinton struggling to get back on the bike. I mean, he was moving over on that hot spot to see what happened, and this is what we talked about right there, Andy. You know, one mistake, and it's still a possibility for Thomas. But the way it looks right now, I mean, we still have to get the judging decision, but I don't think it's any question about it. This one belongs to Clinton Moore.
Well, I know Clinton's been working so hard for the last couple years to get to this position, so congratulations, Clinton. Maybe a little early, but I feel that you deserve where you are. Great riding, great pushing yourself and everybody else out there. I mean, just the way he's been riding has been absolutely incredible.
So variety belongs to Clinton Moore. Execution also belongs to Clinton Moore. Style, this is anybody's guess here because both of these guys have such incredible style, but yeah, it's Clinton Moore. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Clinton Moore is your new 2015 Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour champion. I can honestly say it's a well-deserved win, but let's not forget, this competition is not over. We still have the semifinals to go on. The semifinals, and then a chance for Clinton Moore to win 3 on the season and join an elusive and exclusive club with a 3-peat. Can he do that? Being the World Tour champion is a big boost for him, and that's going to help him move on into the next round. So congratulations to Clinton Moore, but lots more action still to come here in Abu Dhabi at the Red Bull X Fighters World Tour Final. Let's see who can win the event now. Will Clinton Moore go on to get the hat trick on the season? We'll find out.
Oh, and just look at that. Oh, his bars just kind of shook out of the way, and for him to win the championship
with that Bundy
stuck up in his own bike like that. I mean, that's just incredible that he pulled that thing out.
Speaking of incredible, look at the skyline here in Abu Dhabi. That is an absolutely fantastic city. The action is hot on the streets tonight. The action is even hotter here in our stadium right across the harbor from the Maritime Mall, and the scenery and the backgrounds here in the desert. It's really an oasis in the desert here in Abu Dhabi. What a fantastic location for our World Tour final. This is just perfection, in my opinion. And I mean, speaking of perfection, that round building in the background, that is just a crazy building. I think that's probably one of my favorite buildings because of the scope of it and the fact that it's just like a big space saucer turned sideways. It's awesome.
Speaking of hot, it's getting hot up here too.
It's getting hot up here. I'm glad I got that big fan in the doorway here. What's his name again, Joe?
Get a look at the crowd here. They get a couple minutes.
They're having some fun out there as well, enjoying the atmosphere. And you mentioned it off the top of the show, the atmosphere is really electric, you know? They have really knowledgeable fans here in the Emirates. I mean, and they are, for lack of a better description, they're gas heads here. They love their motor vehicles, no matter what it is. If it's a $1 billion car that's been kitted out so they can go 400 kilometers an hour, or if it's a tricked out motorcycle, or if it's a freestyle motocross bike, the fans here love their motorsports. And there's Thomas Paget's got fans. Win or lose, Thomas, you're the best was the banner that we just saw. Everybody enjoying themselves here at the 2015 Red Bull X Fighters World Tour Final in Abu Dhabi. And now we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Ronnie Renner, who is with our new World Tour champion, Clinton Moore.
Congratulations, Clinton Moore. You are the 2015 Red Bull X Fighters World Tour champion. Just go ahead and take it away. One word.
God, I feel good, and it feels awesome. I've got to say, it just feels so real because I've still got to go out there and back it up. I still want to just still do my best and put this behind me right now and celebrate after, obviously. But, you know, coming into this, I said I want to be top 5. I was going to be happy. It was going to be like a win. But here I am. I'm living the dream I've always wanted to live. And now it's a reality, and I'm number 1, Red Bull X Fighters World Champ. This smile, it's not going to come off for quite some time now.
Well, congratulations again. You earned it, and good luck with the rest of the night.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Well, that's one happy individual no matter what happens the rest of the night, Andy. He is going to be grinning from ear to ear for months to come. But like he said, he's got to put this now behind him and try and refocus on the rest of the evening. He's moving on to the semifinals. He'll be going up against Michael Malero, who we saw had a pretty fantastic run earlier on. That'll be semifinal number 2. And Rob Adelberg and Josh Sheehan will be going up against each other in semifinal number 1. And I think that's at the point where Josh is going to need to open up the floodgates a little bit if he wants to take down Robbie Adelberg, because Robbie's been riding so strong, as we mentioned mentioned earlier on during his quarterfinal run.
Well, I'm starting to feel a little bit of an Aussie invasion here.
Yeah.
3 of our top 4 right now. I mean, we need the Kiwi Levi back here. And what the heck? Where's Adam Jones? Some of those guys, we're getting overrun by the Aussies right now. They've really stepped up their game. 2 years in a row, tour champion from Australia. You think the freestyle motocross is strong in that country?
I would say so. So Rob Adelberg and Josh Sheehan going to be riding first, and then Michael Malero, Clinton Moore up against each other after that. Tess Sewell coming up, our sports director, making sure that we're doing our jobs properly, taking pictures and getting the evidence. So there we go, semifinal number 1, a couple of Aussies going head-to-head. Rob Adelberg and Josh Sheehan.
Man, look at this course. That is, these landings are so massive these days in freestyle motocross, Troy. I mean, there used to be like 10-footers, and now they're like 16 feet tall.
Yeah, 16, 20 feet tall. They're huge. But I mean, sorry, you need to have those giant steep landings in order to be able to come down from these huge jumps safely.
Well, so are you saying that if these landings would have been this big in my day, I could have done like double backflips and done that?
Oh, maybe.
Transfer Cordova flip?
Rob didn't leave us any time to come into the show. He went straight off to a Cordova flip transfer on that quarter. Wow.
And the Indian air to heel clicker combo flip, which is kind of backwards from what most guys do.
Yeah.
And then right into the California roll, the fender bounce back on.
Good thing he's got long arms. I mean, if his arms are like an inch shorter, he'd never reach the bars
Never
on
get
that.
back on the bike. Stretches out the KOD flips, flips down his flip levers there. If you're wondering what he's doing, those help leverage the bike back underneath him. And then hits that all-important 120-foot dirt gap with a big one-hand heart attack that he holds perfectly, which, as we've been saying, execution judge really likes that.
We should also mention they've got 90 seconds in the semifinals, so it's a little more time to move around on course. 1, 2, maybe 3 extra jumps in there as well, so that's going to play a role in the scoring. It also plays a role as far as how you set your trick sheet up.
Big cliffhanger flip there. Really great extension. Straightens out of the knees and hips, and then gets over for one last right side up trick, and he is ticking down. Hazy boy off the super kicker for use, of course, and then a big whip flip, takes a peek over at the clock while he's upside down.
Yeah, that's
upside down,
that's
doing
confident.
a whip flip. He takes a peek over to see how long he's got left. That's pretty insane. Great run by Adelberg.
Really good run by Adelberg. It was smooth, it was clean, it was essentially mistake-free. Again, his extensions were right out there, full commitment on each one, and his landings were buttery smooth. So it's now up to Josh to really come out and do the best that he can do. And look at this. Wow.
This is definitely going to be a real tough one for the judges because they have quite a different bag of tricks, I have to say. That California roll, there, Josh not doing a bunch of body burials.
Well, Josh
he's got the double, he's got the 360, he's got the 360 knack.
And he's got the flare.
And so a very mixed bag of tricks between these two. And I don't really know if one set of tricks isn't really better or worse. They're just
different.
They're just very different.
But I think I like that actually better than having 2 riders going out there with essentially the same trick list and having to watch which one makes the most mistakes. I mean,
well, yeah, because Adelberg, a lot of combos, side saddle lander.
And that's also a pretty big key.
He's got the Indian air to heel clicker flip. I mean, so varied are their trick lists that I like to see it that way. And great whip flip, by the way.
Yeah, super whip flip.
But for the judges, it makes it very difficult because what are you giving more importance to, a flare or a California roll? Both are very difficult. Both are new school tricks. Where does that fall in? Double backflip, obviously.
That's pretty massive.
It's huge, but which always a chance to flip Cordova.
Yeah,
so,
but a double, you know, I don't want to take away anything from the double backflip. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's one of the, if not the most dangerous trick to do out on course, but it's also a trick that's basically determination and commitment once you get in there. And Josh Sheehan, I mean, he's been so consistent. There was a time there when guys would come out on course dressed in armor from top to bottom just to be able to set up for the double backflip. They wouldn't compete in the rest of the event. They would just be there to do a double backflip, and that's all, you know? And here, we got a guy like Josh Sheehan who's coming to these contests and including a double backflip 3-4 times in a night.
There's that nice outside knack, 360 from Josh. And he comes around straight to the quarter. And there,
oh no, that's an expensive mistake for Josh Sheehan. Now he's got to start the bike again.
Don't worry, honey, he'll be okay. He's tough.
He is tough. He's a strong kid.
And now I'm just gonna, that is a Kevin Windham whip if I ever saw one. And Josh is gonna probably have fun with it now because, and yes, if you can believe it, that is fun right there. Throwing down the flare, and that's,
I mean, the only mistake is the crash, but it was a glaring mistake.
Yeah.
Can he come back from something like that with, you know, maybe bringing in the double?
Well, I don't think this is the time to throw the double. We saw last night, there's a double grab flip. We saw last night that the crash with Tom Pages ruined his chances. I don't think there's any point in throwing out the double right now. And you know what's funny? Ever since Josh started training for the triple backflip, I feel is when his double backflip fell apart.
Yeah.
And when I say fell apart, he's had a few minor mistakes, a couple crashes, but he was so dialed by doing over 100 of them on the road with the Nitro Circus guys that now he started doing triple backflips. Hey, is that making fun of me? I don't know if I like that, Josh. But yeah, the triple backflip, I think is kind of threw off his double game, which I mean, I'm still in awe that actually happened in our lifetime.
Yeah, the triple backflip is not something we're going to see anytime soon in competition, but wow, look at this here. Upside knack 360, fantastic. The only mistake in his run was this right here. You can see his shin hit the bar. That might have just put him off a little bit, landed a bit back end heavy, and then
same thing.
Just kicked him to soft dirt there.
The rear end locked up. He stalled the bike, exact same as in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
And threw him off. And
this time it bit him a little bit harder.
Yeah, this time it actually threw him off. And then just so stylish there. That's a 12 out of 10 on a whip. And look how quick he rotates back around that bike out of that KOD flip. Then he rotates around. Little front end high again on the flare. Getting good use of course, got the super kicker, got the dirt double. Great execution. Everything else was just
flawless, basically.
Super solid, but I feel that the writing's on the wall. We know what a crash does to you, and I just don't see any way for Josh to.
That was our keys to the win at the beginning of the show. You know,
make mistakes.
Go big, don't hold back, handle that pressure, but more importantly, no big mistakes. You know, and that's what happened there. Robbie Adelberg gets execution and variety. He only needs one more to move to the final. And oh my goodness,
got that use of
Josh
course.
Sheehan on there with the use of course. Good call, Andy Bell. Style.
Well, they're both pretty stylish. I mean, I'd give extra points for that handlebar that Sheehan's rocking.
Adelberg gets the style and the energy, yeah, for sure. Going to Robbie Adelberg.
Sweep.
No, that's the only non-clean sweep we've had this evening. You know, the quarterfinals were clean sweeps by Michael Malero and everybody else that moved on. Moore, Sheehan, Malero, Adelberg all had clean sweeps, but this time Sheeny gets dropped with only one helmet to 4 for Adelberg. So Robbie Adelberg will move to the final. And now we have the semifinal number 2, Clinton Moore against Michael Malero. Clinton Moore, hopefully he won't make any mistakes in his run, especially on that Bundy, so he can do well the rest of the way. But Michael Malero, again, showed us he's got some great skill out there. I do believe that Michael Malero will be the first guy to ride here in this pairing, as Clinton Moore just sort of tries to absorb the atmosphere that's happening here and get ready for this semifinal run. Michael Malero. He is a small man in stature, but a big man on a bike.
Double grab flip to start off, and that was actually quite a bit better than the double grab flip he started off with in the quarters.
It was distinct.
He got a great extension, and he actually held it, and now gets a little knack, and it rotates another 10 degrees around on that flare. So started off better than what helped him move past his opponent, and now sets up for the California roll. And look at that, he's
the one-hander lander on the Cali roll as well.
He is around so quickly on that thing that if you blink, you would miss the fact that it was a California roll.
Cliffhanger backflip. Excuse me, Cordova backflip.
Clinton.
I saw those feet locked on the handlebars and I automatically went default. There we go, that's a cliffhanger.
To no-handed lander base jump.
Suicide style as well. Well, Michael Malero is looking really good here, and I think quite honestly, he's putting a significant amount of pressure on Clinton Moore. Clinton knows he's got to come out after we see so many great tricks from Michael Malero. He's got to come out solid, and he knows he had a nearly big mistake in his quarterfinal run to get him to the semis here, so he's definitely got that on his mind.
Well, yeah, and then the executioner to rock solid over the dirt gap, which we know that the youth course judge has been really favoring big tricks over that. And Clinton doesn't even care what Malero's doing.
He's not watching. He's in his own
head. He knows that if he has the run that he needs to have, he's got Malero covered.
Yeah, we'll see. But he needs to stay on the bike and not go down there on that Bundy. So let's see if he can do that as we take a look back here.
Look at that, great
the run.
extension. Really, really nice extension. And once again, the only thing I'd like to see out of Malero that I would really think will help his score is just a little more fire.
Yeah.
As he's riding, the energy, excitement, Judge. And look at that, he just gets around. I think my wrist would snap in half if I tried that there. And then even has time for the one-handed lander. But yeah, I'd love to see a little bit more fire out of him from when he lands to when he takes off the next time. And other than that, the jumps were picture perfect.
This is beautiful right here. I mean, he really went for it. The cliffhanger to no-hander lander with the suicide hands up for that beautiful base jumper.
Look, it just stretches out. Like if you were going to sketch a picture of what a flatliner is supposed to look like, that is what it looks like. And he just stretches everything to the max. All he needs, I think, to move up that next level to be the elite of the elite is just take a line from Danny Torres. Do exactly what we saw Danny do. Danny was hustling, riding like a motocross race, not like you're getting in between the ramps slowly.
Putting a little more aggression into the run. I mean, they are the fiery Spaniards, so, you know, they should bring that in a bit. All right, our next rider up, as you know, Clinton Moore, getting ready to do it here in the semifinal. He wants a win here in Abu Dhabi to close out a very strong season for this young man.
Wow, it's crazy that he just wrapped up the Tour Championships and potentially has to ride 2 more times tonight.
2 more times tonight.
But you know what? The weight has been lifted, so now he should be able to have fun. And if he has fun, and he just takes it easy out here.
There we go.
Yes.
Nice. That was fantastic. That was the Bundaberg we needed to see earlier.
And he just stretches that so far. He's holding on by like the shred of a fingernail. So far above the bike.
Cordova Cordova flip.
No one's ever actually been able to do that trick and land it in competition, and he just knocks it out time after time. So great to see Clinton. Big rock solid over the dirt gap, knocking down that use of course.
Yeah, and you know, unbelievable. Throwing in a little extra bit of business for the judges.
And you see Molero's face.
Wow, that was huge.
Very nice three, right into the 540. Very straight up and down on that. That was much more 540 style, if there's a difference. He's still rotating 540 degrees, but big Shaolin flip coming around. Clinton Moore just absolutely perfection right now.
Knocking down that landing really well as well.
Yeah, 12 seconds left to go. He rolls up and over.
Oh my goodness!
That's where he knows bombed that landing earlier in his last run. Yeah. This time he knows smashed it. And he's well, this one's for the judges. A little running man action. Not counted. You know what, Clinton? Save it, buddy. Save it.
Yeah, those last two jumps will not count because he was outside of the time limit when he got on the gas. So I don't know how much that's going to affect his score. And it was the very last jump within the time limit where he, as you say, smashed the landing, but still managed to ride away from it. So that's going to cost him some points. It might be real close between him and Michael Molero because of that landing. And there we see the World Tour Champion trophy. That'll be going home with Clinton Moore no matter what.
Oh, there we go. Look at the extension. He is so high above the motorcycle. That trick is just, I have no idea. It's a few tricks these days. I have no idea how you can even figure that out. But very nice Cordova flip. Comes around. Really nice landing. Look how long he holds that on the dirt double.
Yeah, I mean, he had his arms out there flying through. I mean, you know, any longer and the bike could get away on him.
Look at that, the bolt to no-handed lander. So epic. Then watch this, front tire smash.
Oh, right, heavy on the knuckle
that
there.
Was 2 feet short, and guess what? It didn't even phase him. A little head shake there, but.
All right, well, let's see how the judges fare with these two guys.
I think this one's pretty cut and dried. I'd be willing to bet on this one, Troy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm with you thinking on one side, but at the other side, he nailed. I mean, he really nailed the knuckle of that landing with the front wheel, and you know, who knows how much that's going to affect how the judges take a look at this this particular run. Let's see. Variety belongs to Clinton Moore.
Yep, I agree. Execution,
wow,
that one's
half
close.
a point.
That one's close because Molero was perfect. Couldn't have executed any better than what he did.
Yeah.
That could have even gone Molero's way, but style.
Well, there you go. Clinton Moore gets 4 helmets. Will it be a clean sweep here against Michael Molero? Energy. Oh yeah. My goodness, 94.2.
Wow,
but
they're getting throttle happy on that machine over there.
Up there. I think it's your friend and mine, Drake McElroy, on the throttle.
Getting excited. Look at this Bundy. I mean, how can you not pin that energy throttle when he's throwing down the extension he's getting? Some of these guys, like I said, I mean, Molero being one of them that is really doing like the California roll, the varial so close to the bike and not really stretching it out. And then you have Clinton on the opposite end of the spectrum. He is as far as physically possible from the bike on his varials. It's absolutely incredible.
Trying not to get away from that bike at all. All right, so there you see World Tour Champion trophy. We've already got that nailed down. We know Adelberg and Moore are going to be going against each other in the final, and before that, we're going to go down to Ronnie Renner, who is with Thomas Pages.
I'm here with obviously disappointed Tom Pages. Amazing season, came down to the wire right here for your second World Championship. Why don't you just tell me what went wrong?
Well, it's really tough. You know, I work every single day, like for a long time now, and just mistake again and again. It feels like I'm never gonna be able to make it like in a row, but that's not the end. You know, I keep working, and I hope that I continue to make people happy and bring new tricks. So yeah, that's Clinton was very much unbeatable tonight, and yeah, so I'm happy for all the guys. Been doing a great job. It's a great show, and thank you Red Bull for this organization. Thank you Abu Dhabi, and yeah, I'm living the great life, so I'm happy still.
Well, what was it that went wrong here in Abu Dhabi? I mean, it seemed like you've had some problems since the start.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, I had a crash 2 weeks ago, so I couldn't practice before coming here. Actually, he had practice time. I had a 3 crash on the same tricks. It went really good on the first round, and against Clinton, with the pressure and everything, I don't know, made a mistake again. I guess I should have tried another trick tonight.
Hold your head high, Tom. You're a world champ, and you know what? You're a legend in the sport, and everybody here knows that, so see you next year.
For sure, see you next year.
Yeah, clearly a disappointed Thomas Pages, but yeah, he'll get over it. You know, he's been a World Tour champion before. He's changed the face of the sport of freestyle motocross, and he made all of these guys out there. He forced every single one of those guys out there that rides today, regardless of whether it's on this particular World Tour or some other event somewhere else in the world. He has made them take it to the next level. So here we go. We're looking at the final facts for our head-to-head battle for the last heat of the day. 105 seconds is the length of the heat. Again, you got to win 3 out of these 5 judge category, and the winner will walk away with 100 World Tour points. And it's going to be Rob Adelberg going up against Clinton Moore. And I will point out that if we look back from quarterfinal through semifinals, there has only been 1 battle where it hasn't been a clean sweep of 5 helmets to none, and that was Adelberg against Sheeny, which was a pretty epic battle. Saved the mistake by Josh Sheehan. It might have been a lot closer. Bolero just got bumped out by Clinton Moore with 5 helmets to none, and now we're going to get a couple of the guys out on course here. Are we going to get a train, a little bit of warm-up here action, or?
We got a little choo-choo train going on out there, and so we're set up for the All-Australian final here.
Yeah.
Looking at the stats, we have 2 head-to-head wins by Clinton over Rob, but that doesn't mean anything. There's the level these guys are at right now. I mean, this is a big showdown. These guys have ridden against each other for years and years and years. They know each other well. I'm pretty sure they even raced motocross together back in the day. And I mean, they both are bringing huge tricks to the table here for the final.
Yeah, and let's not forget what's at stake here. Yes, Clinton Moore is the World Tour champion, but there's still this event. And for Rob Adelberg, it'll be win number 2 on the Red Bull X Fighters World Tour if he can win it tonight. For Clinton Moore, it'll be his first World Tour win, or his first World Tour championship win, yeah? And it'll be a hat trick for him. If he can win, this will be 3 wins on the season. So, I mean, there's still a lot at stake coming into this final, so let's not hold any bones about the fact that this is going to be a big battle between 2 fantastically talented riders in the final here. Yes, it's unfortunate that Thomas Pages had to battle through round 1 and got eliminated by Clinton Moore. Yes, it's unfortunate that we didn't get to see Josh Sheehan do his double backflip here, but folks, it is the final of the Red Bull X Fighters World Tour here, and it is a couple of guys that are aching to be on that podium tonight in the top spot. Will it be Rob Adelberg? Can he open up the floodgates and really bring down Clinton Moore? And at this point, I think it's safe to say that Clinton Moore, it's his to win or lose. It's his to make a mistake on or ride with perfection. And that, I think, is the hardest part for a guy like Clinton. He's got to battle through his headspace more than he has to battle with Robbie Adelberg. For Robbie Adelberg, he can go out there and ride a great run and put the pressure on Clinton.
Well, it's a tough place for Clinton to be right now because he's had this crazy adrenaline build-up, this pressure build-up, and then he has to come back down and concentrate on winning the event, which he's won the big prize. But hey, winning one of 5 events here, I mean, that's huge. It puts you into the record book. You got anything to say on Twitter, Instagram? Hit us up, #XFighters. We are joining in the conversation with you guys. We're going to see what everyone is talking about. Who do you think is going to win? This is a tough one. If everything goes Clinton's way, he's going to be hard to stop. But he's got that adrenaline dump going on. He's already probably planning out the after party right now. So, I mean, what a party it's going to be. I mean, first World Tour Championship for him. This is, I mean, what he's been working for so many years.
And here he comes out onto the course. Now he is up on the hot spot. He will have, let's call it the luck of the draw, to be able to sit and watch the run from Rob Adelberg. Whether or not that is the luck of the draw is the question. We know that Rob Adelberg can do a lot of damage out there. He's a high-level rider. He's up next.
I'm all pumped up. I'm ready to go out there and send it.
Well, he is going to have to send it here in the final. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last 2 runs of the 2015 Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour season. And here we go with Robbie Adelberg.
All right, started off big with that Cordova transfer flip. Just nailing out the toughest of the transfer. And we saw how hard it is. Sheedy crashed once and almost a second time on that.
Oh! He didn't get those legs all the way around for the heel clicker. And again, you pointed out earlier, he does that opposite to a lot of the other guys.
That California roll for Adelberg into one-hander lander. And, you know, he gets not quite as stylish as Taka, but he does get off the side of that motorcycle. It's nice to see the separation on that trick. And then super solid on the KOD backflip. Yeah, gonna take that one home, show mom. And then making sure he gets the big dirt gap, 120-foot double grab Indian air.
He had space on that one for the landing as well. He went far. Still got lots of time left in his run. Rob Adelberg got to be creative. And you know that Minnie Kleinfeld is in the back there on that hot spot watching Minnie Kleinfeld, the mechanic for Rob Adelberg, bringing big support to his boys out there. Cliffhanger flip, beautiful.
Yeah, great extension. Love to see that. Really straightening out the hips to the knees. And then really gets up into heart attack position there.
Look at the focus on Clinton. He's not watching much of what's going on course.
Now,
20 seconds left for Robbie Adelberg with the lazy boy.
And then big whip flip.
So this is where it's going to get interesting for Rob.
Now
he's
seen everything he's done.
His run from before, and now he's got to add in the extra tricks.
And this is tough, too, because you're tired. May not seem like a minute and a half is a lot. Minute and a half, basically holding your breath, and he actually only got one extra jump in that extra 15 seconds.
He took a long trip around there,
So we'll have to see how Clinton Moore handles that extra 15 seconds.
Well, the other thing, too, is Clinton Moore has gone through the quarterfinal, the semifinal, and now coming into the final, you know, he's had to pull out all the stops in order to get to where he is now. He's probably tired. You mentioned it earlier. He's got that adrenaline dump. That's going to play a big role in how he comes out onto this course. Can he control it? Can he use it to his advantage, or will it bite him? Robbie Adelberg was looking really good out there with that beautiful California roll, the one-hander landed, and then, of course, you know, the kiss of death flip right there. Nice.
Well, the one thing that Clinton really has on his side right now is he's going to be much more relaxed. The pressure is gone. I don't think he's feeling the pressure about winning. the event as much as he was about the tour. So that pressure is a breath of fresh air. He's able to relax and go out there and hopefully have fun. And when these guys are having fun, the pressure's not there, that's when they ride to their best. And that's really what makes a champion, is being able to put that pressure out of their head and just ride to their potential.
All right, well, speaking of champion, there he is right there. Is he going to add another little trophy to the big one? Let's see. Clinton Moore is up next.
All or nothing, just want to keep it on the 2 wheels.
All or nothing is right. Andy Bell, I'm excited to see if Clinton Moore can hold it together here in this last run. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the last run of the Red Bull X Fighters 2015 World Tour season. It all comes down to this for the event win for Clinton Moore. Can he hold it together? Will he hold it together? Do you want him to hold it together? Here we go. Man, the energy is off the charts up here in the stands. We are ready for it. Come on, Clinton.
All right, big breath, 20 seconds to get ready, and then it's go time, 105 seconds. He's got to get through his run. Oh, they're holding him back. They're letting the stress build for all of us, it looks like.
Yeah, clearly.
I'm getting stressed sitting up here. I can imagine, like, being held down there. He's ready. He's ready
He's
to go.
definitely ready. He's vibrating. You can see it from up here. All right, here we go. Finally, letting him go out on course. He busts up a couple of Dirt Devils as he gets out there. Quick hello to the audience and the judges. And here we are. Time to start his run. 10 seconds, and it doesn't look like he's going to hold back at all. He's going straight for it.
All right. Cliffhanger if he's into the Bundy. Oh, yes! What
That is bananas.
Hey,
I can't believe he did that.
It not only is he a champion, he's still stepping the game up when he doesn't have to right now. There's no need. There's no need to have done that right there.
Yeah, the question is that for him, for the audience, for the judges, for everything, all the marbles? It looks like he's ready to go for sure. That was an incredible Bundy to no-hander lander. We're still chattering up about it here.
I'm not sure if he's ever done that. I don't think he's ever done that in competition for sure.
The Volt back on board.
Oh! You're a psycho, Clinton.
Psycho.
Wow. No-headed lander off the Volt.
Oh.
Gets a little head shake there, a little tank slapper going on.
He is just throwing it out there. And the flare.
So fast.
Unbelievable.
Okay, take a breath, buddy. 45 seconds. I don't think he's had a breath yet, because I haven't.
I haven't.
It's a death flip, and then
again, so close.
Not as bad as last time, but he's so close on that one.
He got a panic rev. I think that helped him a little bit get around, you know? Ah, I can't. My palms are sweating. You can see the hair.
Shaolin flip from Clinton, 17 seconds left.
He has loaded this run with epicness. Epicness.
Wow.
Holy smokes, look at the amplitude there. Hard to see on TV, but that was massive. Then an old school whip.
Turn down, looks over at the judges, and I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's mind right now. I mean, he finished off.
Oh my.
Ronnie Renner going on in there.
That is, what a way to finish off the run, the season, the day. Clinton Moore pulling a Pastrana there, throwing the bike away.
Wow. This guy, he's just going to, I think he's going to party hard tonight.
He's over the moon. I mean, look at him. He is over the moon. You can see the relief leaking out of him right now. It is done and dusted. He can do nothing more about this day. Look at this right here. Throws the hands away.
Who does that? Nobody even does a Bundy, never mind a Bundy to no-handed lander.
Oh my goodness.
And then same thing.
That's setting up the gauntlet for any future events that he'll be in against these guys. I mean, really, this was sketchy though. Robbie Adelberg going, oh my God, that could have been a bad crash for Clinton and a win for me.
And then really gets nice and laid out.
Yeah, I love how flat he gets that flare.
A little bit of love between the Aussie boys down there. Dane jumping in. Not only does the man build amazing courses, he's a great kickstand too, obviously. Oh, and Clinton, you can just tell it has just been
emotional.
Weeks of build-up waiting for this moment. And to have it come in pieces to win the championship and now be standing there waiting for the judges. I think we all know which way this is going to go, I feel.
Well,
not that it's anticlimactic in the slightest, because we just saw him pull out 2 tricks that he's never done. The Aussie boys. The Aussie boys up there. I'm sure there's quite a few Aussies here in the crowd, too.
I wouldn't be surprised. Look at the smiles on the top of that landing ramp, though. When has that happened in the past? When have we had 3 Australians on the podium?
I told you they're taking over.
Never ever.
They are taking over right now. You know what? They're putting in that work.
They are.
They're putting in the
There's
work.
no doubt about it. They've got the space, they've got the time, they've got the motivation, and they've got the heroes to follow as well. Yeah, I don't blame you, Clinton Moore. You do need a drink after that. Somebody give that man a bottle of water.
Look at him. He's just, I don't know if he breathed that entire time.
Well, the way he's breathing now, I don't think so. He's, I think he held his breath like we did up here in the box during that whole final run. What a series for Clinton Moore, though, as we get our scoring coming in from our judges. Here we go. Clinton Moore gets variety with a bullet execution. That belongs also to Clinton Moore, but only by a half a point there. Style, well, both of these guys could be scoring high for style, but it's going to go to Clinton Moore. There you go. He is your World Tour champion, and he is your event champion. That is a threesome of wins for Clinton Moore on this season. And as I said, he joins an exclusive club along with Matt Rabot, who was the only other guy to do that back in 2009.
And once again, a new tour champion.
A new tour champion.
Back-to-back Australians.
Yeah,
Josh Sheehan
right.
last year.
Josh Sheehan last year, and Clinton Moore this year.
You know, but wow, what an amazing season, and to see Clinton come in from being hurt at the first event last year in Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
And then coming through to win this year in Mexico. I mean, what a big change for Clinton
He's
Moore.
with Rodney Renner now on the landing ramp.
Moore, congratulations. You are the 2015 Red Bull X Fighters World Tour champion and the big winner here in Abu Dhabi. How are you feeling? What kind of emotions you got going right now?
You know, my whole life of freestyle motocross, this was always a dream. And this dream has now become a reality. I'm here living it. I never thought I'd ever be this far and come this far. I said at the start of the year was I just wanted to be top 5, and here I am. World #1 Red Bull X Fighters champ, and also took out the last round in first place. I've got to say, this is a dream come true to me. Thank you everyone that has supported me and helped me through this. It really means a lot.
Now, Clinton, you have had one heck of a season. What is your secret?
You know what?